Hello and welcome to QuestLore, a family Lorcana podcast where each and every week we come to talk to you about all things Lorcana, unless of course we skip a week. Anyways, I'm Matt.
I'm Emmett. I'm Malcolm.
And I'm Jen.
All right, so let's get right into it. It's been a busy week for our household as it's been Tech Week for the boys' show. They are currently in a production of Willy Wonka Jr.
And this boy right here, Malcolm, is the Charlie.
Yeah.
And he goes on today for his last performance as Charlie. And Emmett has some solos too as one of the Candy crew. So we're very proud of our kids.
This is also my last day of being a kid.
Yes, it is.
Yep. So we have just enough time to sneak in a quick podcast. We're going to start how we normally always start, unless I forget, with how we've been playing. So we had a sealed event that we all took part in last week.
Yeah.
Playing with new Set 6 stuff. I don't think we've done any stuff with an actual constructed Set 6 deck.
No, we haven't. We've been toying around with making some.
Yeah, we've been starting to kind of build things.
Yeah.
The first deck that I made, well, let's just say that no one really liked it.
So we've got ideas for decks for the three of you. I've got a couple decks built for myself because I'll be playing constructed stuff tomorrow.
Yes.
And so we'll get to that soon. But for the sealed events, we got to play with Set 6 cards. So during your sealed event, like, what cards did you like playing with? What cards do you think, wow, this is really cool, I really like this card? Like, what did you enjoy? Jen, let's start with you.
So I really enjoyed and feared as well when it was on the other side. The red Jasmine card, even though I don't really play red. The Jasmine card where every time she quests, the opponent loses a lore.
Yeah.
That was a really scary card, especially when my opponent had that out with that giant Naveen bodyguard.
Sure.
And so I could not get rid of the Jasmine. And so I was ahead like 10-0, and he ended up winning because I could not get rid of that bodyguard. Because there's really not a ton of removal in the new stuff.
Yep.
So that was definitely a scary combo. But just in general, I do think that the bodyguard thing is something that's going to come back a little bit more. Like, I feel like it was pretty popular like 2-3 sets ago. And then it kind of went out of fashion. Like, I haven't seen a deck with a bodyguard in it in a long time, but I think it's coming back.
Yeah, I think the Pluto card specifically is pretty good. So Pluto is a 4-cost. He's a 5/5 when he comes down. He's got bodyguard. He quests for 1, but he's a 5/5 until he has damage on him. So if you run anything into him, it's probably getting taken out.
Yeah. Like, I think the Baloo bodyguard is really the only bodyguard that anyone was still playing.
I play the Simba.
Oh, you do. That's right. So
Simba, the Donald Duck that gives an extra lore and aggro decks were being played. But
well,
other than
bodyguard
that,
makes sense for my deck.
Yes.
So.
Yes. It makes sense for aggro decks, but not a lot of other people were playing it. But I think it's going to come back into some more mid-range decks too.
I've seen it being a lot played in Steel Song.
Yeah.
Because it's a really good card. It kind of takes the place of Lawrence.
Yeah.
It doesn't put as much pressure because it doesn't quest for 2, but that bodyguard ability and then being able to sing Along Came Zeus.
Yes.
Right, is pretty good.
Yes.
Malcolm, how about you?
I like Good Job.
Good job.
Oh, good job.
Action that basically says, here character, gain a lore, an extra lore. I did put 4 of those in your new deck.
Yes.
So there is a chance.
You, Simba.
Yes, good job. Yes, I used, there was twice in our games on Saturday. Once when I was playing against Matt, and once when I was playing against somebody else where I happened to have 2 in my hand. And when I played against Matt, I had the big Simba, and so I had him out, and I had played 2 of those in the next turn so that he would quest for 4. We're like, good boy, Simba. Good boy. You get to quest for 4.
Yeah. Malcolm, Emmett, how about you?
What's it called? Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
So which Chippendale card specifically?
The big one.
The big one, the 8-cost,
Yep.
uninkable one.
Did you play with that? Yep.
Yeah,
Did
he
you
did.
do
I saw him.
any good? Yep.
So basically, when you put a card in your inkwell, you can bring a character back to your hand from your discard. So it's a way to kind of keep your hand full.
Yeah.
Emmett was able to get it off in sealed. Not normally something you would want to try for, but he got it.
Items is my middle name.
Had nothing to do with items. No item that had. Yeah, you kept playing items. I was watching you. You just were like, I'm gonna play this item. Like, why? You could just win.
Like
no, I'm gonna
he
play an
literally
item.
couldn't beat me, and he just kept playing crazy items. And I'm like, "What are you doing, child?" And he's like, "I'm having fun, and that's what matters, Mom."
And he's right. That is what matters. So if items are your thing and you just want to play items, go ahead and play your silly items and do what you can. When I was putting together a deck for Emmett, there was one version where it had a bunch of items in it, and then I'm like, this deck is garbage and shouldn't be played this way. And when I switched over to what I think he should play, which is just abusing Ward.
And no items.
No items.
But lots of people have wards, so they're gonna have a hard time getting rid of your people, right?
Yeah, but
I know he likes items city.
You got to get a little bit better at your play in order to start playing
How about
items.
this Ruby Sapphire? I'm sure you'll do great at that.
Yeah, so for me, I played a lot of different starter events.
Yeah, how many did you end up playing? Like 3 or 4?
I mean, so technically 5. Emmett's feeling a little under the weather. Anyways, so I had a starter deck tournament. I had a draft, 2 sealed, and then a pack battle one as well. For me, it was the big thing seemed to be evasives. Like whoever had the most evasives was kind of who won.
Yeah.
Particularly with the pack battles, it was like, okay, whoever happened to open up an evasive card, you win, right? Mm-hmm. There was one where we both had a Markowski, which is like the Ruby 4-cost 3/2 quest for 2 evasive character, and it was basically both of us got him in our packs, and it was just, all right, whoever draws the Markowski first wins.
And is that what won?
And that's how it worked. Like one turn he got it out, one game he got it out, so he won. The next game I got it out, so I won. So it was like, well, this is just silly. Though the pack battles are interesting, it is so variable. Like whoever just got the best pack, they win. Whoever got the evasives, they win.
Yeah.
There was one where it was
whoever got the 2 legendaries that like cost like 9 to play that aren't useful at all are gonna lose.
Yeah, because there was one where I got the 9-cost uninkable Rafiki, and it was in my opening hand. So like, well, I'm stuck with this for the rest of the game. Mm-hmm. And then it was like the 7-cost Jim Hawkins and the 7-cost Moana. It's like these are fine cards, but it's like
not for pack rush.
Not for pack rush. I'm just losing this. Awesome. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was a couple of cool tricks I was able to do that I might do some in play, like where I brought down Go-Go Tomogo and got like 4 lore off of 4 extra lore just by playing her, right? Because she gets you lore if a character is damaged. And then there was another one where it was like,
that got played against me. I did not like that. That Go-Go was not great.
And then we got to play We Could Be Immortals and give her like resist +6 and ramp things up. And then there was once where I like had that magic carpet, that quest for 3. So I quested with him, played You Came Back, raided him, quested with him again for like 6 lore on turn 2.
Did anyone else think thought he said Magi Carp instead of Magic Carpet? I thought I said Magi Carp.
I'm playing with specials.
I was like, wait a minute. How did you get a Magi Carp into your Lorcana deck, Dad?
So those were like fun little things to do. Otherwise, I played fine overall. I think I lacked a lot of legendary characters. Like that's when I would go up against others and things would just like not work great for me because they just got better cards. Like I had winning record over each time, but it was just it lacked the cards. Like someone gets a Yzma that I can't answer and they just keep getting to refill their hands, or they're able to top deck a Gantu that's going to quest for 4 on the next turn and there's no removal, so it's like, okay, well, I guess I just get to lose.
Yeah.
But it was still a fun time. So let's move on to talking about some news.
The Azurite Sea we sailed last
week.
Yeah, talking about Azurite Sea, right? That is released. That's what we've been talking about this whole time. That has released this week.
It hasn't released yet in the big stores though.
Right,
so
that comes out on Wednesday.
So if you don't have any gaming stores near you, then you'll have to be waiting till Wednesday.
Yep, that's when shipments will go out and everything from Target, Best Buy, Amazon, Walmart. Speaking of big box retail, if you are looking to get some first chapter stuff, Target specifically. We don't know if it's going to be in any other stores.
Ooh.
But for Target for sure, because it's actually already out in some. So you might be out of luck. Because usually in the big box stores, the trading cards are put out by a different vendor who doesn't really care about the rules. So basically, there's a new package for first chapter where you get the 2 starter decks and 4 packs of cards. For Black Friday, it's going to be on sale for $40.
Nice.
Which isn't too bad of a deal, and it is some first chapter stuff, which is hard to get. So if you're looking for first chapter, you can go out on Friday and actually find.
Heck, we never
that.
found an Elsa.
Yeah, well,
Like we
yeah.
bought them, but like.
We're all set, so I'm not going to try to rush out and get
Sure.
it. But if I see it in Target somehow, or it becomes available online, I might rush and I might try to grab some. But if you are looking for some stuff, that is a great place to start. Looking at news, so first, this has been going on, so it's the Lorcana Cross-Continental Challenge. So the creator of Pixelborn, Pavel, he basically, when there was some friction between EU and NA content creators, he's like, well, let's do a battle. And there's a Lorcana Cross-Continental Challenge. It kicked off this week, so the first round's over, but you can catch all the videos of those matches on YouTube and Twitch and everything. Just
been kind of
search it
fun
up.
watching
It's
those.
been really fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's really awesome, great matches. There was... it's funny, there was one match on Thursday, I think it was, where R&B, who's doing Blue Steel, was facing, I don't remember who he was facing, but he was facing somebody who was playing Amber Sapphire. And playing the deck, I'm like, oh wait, that's the deck me and Emmett were just putting together for his deck. And I'm like, oh no, it is as scary as I think it is. So it's been really cool to watch, really great plays. There have been really, really great games. There was one Ruby Amethyst versus Ruby Amethyst where the guy was playing more of a quick aggro style deck where he's able to like draw 4 cards every turn, and he kept doing it every turn. All he needed was a Gathering Knowledge and Wisdom or a goat, and he just kept missing them. And so the other player was able to just slowly come back.
Oh
It was really
man,
cool.
that stinks.
Yeah.
But the other nice thing about it too is that, you know, with Pixelborn gone, it's nice that people are doing this so that we can kind of see how decks work.
Yep.
Especially with that gone and people can't just practice very quickly. It's nice to see what other people are playing, what's working, what's not working. When amateurs like us are trying to build our own decks, it's nice to see what's working and not working out there.
So the first round is over. North America is down 2-6 after
no.
the first 8 matches. There's another round starting up next week.
What does EU stand for?
European Union.
Right, so that's where the
Europe.
2 big places where Lorcana is released. They're just releasing it now in Japan.
It's because Rathensperger is based in Germany, which is in Europe.
Yep. So we'll see what more matches come next week. If you are looking to watch some Lorcana over Thanksgiving weekend, it is a good place to start.
Who needs football when you have Lorcana?
Right, exactly, Malcolm, exactly. Other additional news. So the European Championship is coming up pretty quickly. It's just in 2 weeks, I believe. And they did release kind of what the promos of what people are playing for. So they finally did release how things are going to work. You're going to have your last chance qualifier where you're split up into pods of 32. You have a 5-game bracket where the top player of each of those pods goes on to the next day. And then, so that's going to give you 96 players, I believe. And what they're going to do is they're going to do 7 rounds of Swiss using the 2-game format.
Oh, boo.
And then the top 16, I believe, go on to a day 2, where that's a best of 3 bracket, except for the last game for the finals, which will be a best of 5 game.
I think that's fair. How would that work?
Basically, whoever wins 3 games out of 5.
The first person to win 3 games.
That's fair.
And they're
I
going
like
to have,
that.
and I believe it's the top 8 will move on to Worlds. It might be top 4. I don't remember. But the top 8 or top 4 move on to the Worlds Championship. That'll be in Disney World later next year. They did also release a bunch of prizing stuff. The big thing, though, that people have been talking about is the 2-game format thing, because with this number of people, they did the math, and basically, if you go 2-0 your first 3 games, you can draw the rest, which means you don't even have to play half the tournament to make it to the next day.
And that's what I hate about it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I hate about the 2-game format is that, you just happen to get lucky with the cards the first few games. you're in a better standing than those who get lucky with the cards the last few games. And like, that's not fair. It should be fair across the board that no matter when you get lucky with the cards, when you're a good player, like the number of games you actually play and win is what should get you through. And it's always going to favor the people who get the lucky cards in the early games. And
Plus, then those last 3 or 4 games end up being
meaningless.
one game formats. Like,
yes.
basically, you're saying whoever wins the first game wins. Like, not
Yes.
even going to bother with the second game because you both need to win 2 to win out.
And
So,
at that point, it's not about skill.
yeah.
It's just about luck. And this game should be about both.
Yes, but let's take a look at the stuff that they are giving away as part of this that we won't be able to get because we can't go to any of the championships. So maybe we'll find some of it on Second Mark. So first, everyone that's going, this is also people that just buy spectator stuff, get a goodie bag. And inside the goodie bag, you're going to get a Mickey Mouse promo that's going to have a space to autograph on it.
Oh, cool.
So trying to like, hey, if you want Mickey's signature on here, we're going to give you a big old space to sign it on. So it's the Mickey Mouse True Friend from the first set as a promo card. This
That's
is the same card they're using as like a promo card in Japan, Sports Japan's release, but it's in Japanese. And the other one is a challenge pin. So this is the Cinderella Stout-Hearted card
It's
from
my lady.
the Disney Lorcana challenge that's on like the mat and the promo card, but in a pin, in a different shaped pin. So
It looks like a shield.
everyone that goes to this gets this. So maybe the price won't be too prohibitively expensive to
Yeah.
try to find one for ourselves to complete the pin collection
Man,
at least,
I
right?
need her. She's so
Hey,
pretty.
fun fact about Cinderella.
Her singing sword, like she's my lady. I believe I have had her in my deck almost every single set since she came out. Like
Yes.
she is a great
So
card.
since set 2.
Yep.
Fun fact about the Cinderella. So the Lorcana trivia show that I made, the very first question is about that
Oh,
card.
he's really so at some point in our podcast, Emmett wants to release his own Lorcana trivia game show.
So coming
So,
soon.
Coming soon.
Ish.
He's trying to advertise to make it come into existence. So good luck to our listeners when that happens.
Good luck and Godspeed. All right, up next, we've got, the people that make it to day 2, everybody going to day 2 get this special invited to the ball as a promo. So this is kind of, you made it to day 2, you get this. So
I like it.
you're talking 96 players, I
Yeah.
believe, will get this. Not 96, this is the people that make it to day 2. So
And is this a foil card or
32
just
yeah,
a full
so this will be
color?
a hollow card
Nice.
for the people that make it. I don't remember the exact numbers of who gets it, but this would be, I believe it's everybody that makes it to day 2 gets this. Or maybe it's like the top 32 get this, and then top 16 get.
Because this is
the next one.
enchanted on.
Yes, this will be enchanted. They will have, I don't think actually they'll have a regular version of this, but this will be enchanted one that goes to people that make it to day 2, and I think some of the other people that do well on day 1. So they get invited to the ball. Up next, if you get to top 16, obviously you get Elsa's Ice Palace as an enchanted
That's
promo
really
card.
pretty.
That's a really nice card.
I mean, it's really hard to make good enchanted locations.
But it's still
Those are
very
pretty close.
It
It's very
is.
nice,
It's
right?
really
And it's
good.
going to be expensive because it's going to be pretty rare, as only
Yes.
probably 32 are being given out.
very Van Gogh style. Like
Yeah, well, the swirls from the hologram
Yeah.
effects to it. But then up next, you'll get Cusco.
oh,
So the hollow version of this will be one of the awards. I believe it's for top 8 at this point. Get the Cusco from set 1 as a nice full art hollow. This will also be available to those as spectators participating in any of the side events as a non-hollow version. So this is kind of like Cinderella and Rapunzel from the first Disney
Sure.
Lorcana challenges will be available to those doing side event stuff.
I remember when this card was like the best card in the game. Do you
Yeah.
guys remember that?
yes.
Yeah, so now it's like 50 cents.
And also, speaking of this card, so everyone remembers our second episode, right, with the genie stuff.
Sure.
This is where we got the end for no touchy.
Yep,
that's
that's where we
true.
got no touchy from.
Yeah. And then if you do, or I believe maybe at this level, or if you do better, you get this Baymax playmat that will have
That's
hollow
cool.
foiling on it.
That is really cool.
And to go with it, there is a Baymax card.
Nice.
Right? So this is another card It'll be hollow for those that earn it through the competition. I think you're in top 8 at this point. I don't remember. You can look it up on the Lorcana website. You get the hollow version, depending on how well you do in the tournament, and then beyond that, this will also be a non-hollow version that you can get in the side events. So pretty cool cards to get that we will stare at.
Why is Hilo acting like this? I'm flying.
Because he is
flying.
He is flying. That's why. And then after this, the winners doing better. I think if you get to top 4, you're going to get golden Mickeys. If you get in higher than that, you're getting tons of cards. The runner-up gets a full, complete set of Azurite Sea, including the Enchanteds.
Nice.
And the winner gets a full set of Azurite Sea, a full play set of Azurite Sea, including the Enchanteds.
Wow, so 4 of everything. That's a pretty good.
Yeah.
Like prize.
Yeah, so that would go for like $7,000-$8,000 or something at this point. So pretty decent prizing for the tournament. They also get the trophy, and of course they're going to get to go to Worlds.
Yep.
So really cool stuff for them.
So now, how many people get to go to Worlds? Is it the top 64? Is it the top 32?
We know that it's either, I think it's 16.
Okay.
It's either 8 or 16 from Europe are going. We don't know if that's going to be the same amount coming from North America because North America had more challenges, so there are more players.
Sure.
So they might send more from North America into the pool.
So now, I guess my other question is, like, if they make it to Worlds, are they still going to have to pay their own way like they did to these?
Yes.
Okay.
As far as we know, yes, that is typically what it is for trading card games. You still have to pay your own way. But, I mean, even going... If you go to Worlds, you're getting that whole new world enchanted art, right? Enchanted card.
Sure.
If say they send 32 players to Worlds, that means that there are 32 of those cards out there.
Sure. So I guess
The Mickey card, right? There's only going to be 500.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to give out those in whole new worlds a different way, there's only going to be 32 of those.
So
There's
each of those
500
cards,
of Mickeys.
those
The
cards
Mickeys go
are
for
gonna be-
17,000 right now. So.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to make your
money back if you do decide to sell.
Yes, and most of them do decide to sell
to pay for it.
because they make this their whole career, right? They're creating content all the time. They're playing all the time. This is part of their career, so
Sure.
I don't blame them for selling it. I would have a hard time not selling it as well.
Yeah.
No matter how much I want to collect them. So that is kind of the news for the week. I imagine we're going to start seeing news come out for the next set. Probably not for a couple of weeks. I wouldn't be surprised if we get the trailer for it like after Continental is over, the European Championship is over,
Sure.
maybe the week after, or even maybe at the end of that stream. So we'll see.
Serena, the next set. Oswald Serena. Every card is an Oswald card. Well, it's not going to be that since we've already seen a card from set 7.
All right, so we're going to wrap up our short episode this week with what we normally do with Disney trivia. No.
It's trivia time!
Okay, so let's start off with in Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. Elizabeth, Will, and the Black Pearl crew are trying to rescue Jack from where?
An island, an abandoned island.
No.
The World's Edge. Ohio.
I mean, is it supposed to be like the underworld or something?
I mean,
Davy Jones' Locker.
There you go.
Oh, good job,
Very
Malcolm.
sea specific.
I've never seen that locker. I've never seen that movie, but I just
Davy
know
Jones'
that.
All right.
Locker. Good job.
What year did the original Muppet Show debut on TV?
75?
I mean, there are multiple choices. Would you like me to read them?
Yes, please.
A, 1970, B, 1976, C, 1980, D, 1986.
I want to say 76, but I also want to say 80. So I'm going to say B.
Boys, any guesses?
W. I'll just go with Bob.
B.
It is B. It is 1976.
I thought it was 75 or 76, so. My original guess without the multiple choice was very close. So.
All right. A recreation of Carl's House from Up was built in what U.S. state? A, Wyoming, B, Utah, C, Pennsylvania,
Utah.
D, California.
Oh,
Utah.
well, are you sure? Because Wyoming is where like that. I thought that waterfall was.
Oh, I thought it was Utah.
I'm gonna say Wyoming. They're saying
I'm saying
Utah.
Utah.
It is Utah.
Wow, good job,
Utah
boys.
is the correct.
The only
answer.
reason I know that is because
place.
I thought it was in Wyoming for some reason.
the only reason I know that is because of Dan O'Draws.
Oh,
I don't know who
okay.
that is, but okay.
Okay.
All right.
Wiggy.
Next question.
Okay.
In what country does Beauty and the Beast take place?
France.
Good job.
Germany. No, I have an idea. Mary! Then my dad! Hurry up!
It is France indeedy. All right. Do not start shouting out answers right away, please, for this next one.
Oh,
Is it multiple
shoot.
choice?
No, it is not multiple choice.
Not this one.
It's just got a bunch of answers.
Oh, God.
I
So don't
see
just
it.
start shouting them out. Calm down and name them slowly.
Is it the dwarfs?
Name the 7 dwarves.
Yes.
All right, so sleepy, sneezy, happy, bashful, doc,
Grumpy.
grumpy, and
Bashful.
I already said bashful.
Yep. You're missing one.
Sneezy, happy.
Do I say sleepy?
I said sleepy.
Doc. No.
I said okay. So
Dopey.
Dopey. That's who we didn't say.
There
Dopey.
we go. It's bashful, doc, dopey, grumpy, happy, sleepy, and sneezy.
Good job.
Are all of the questions for this week.
I knew it was one of them that started with a D, so it's either Dopey or Doc.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if you said.
I had said doc. So good job.
All right, good job, fellow people. That is it for the podcast today. Thank you so much for listening. If you're on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. If you have questions, you can send them to QuestLoreQuestions@gmail.com. If you are listening to us, feel free to like, subscribe, follow. We are on Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok, Instagram, all sorts of places. You can follow our exploits there. We hope you enjoy listening to us. Thank you so much for your time, and until next time.
People think my show dragon for Lorcana. Yippee!